Good evening, everyone, Upasakas and Upasikas. So one more Sunday, and we are able to meet one more Sunday. And I hope, please come forward here. Those who are back, please come. Others also, gents side also, please come. So that the back side people can sit, right? You're allowed to go in between also, don't worry. Okay, you have no pressure to sit if you're at the front side. Happy to see more younger people coming. So we are a young country, right? So young people should be peaceful for the country to be peaceful, right? So happy to see more younger people coming and joining, because spirituality is not just for oldies, right? It's also for everyone, from the, actually right from the womb, it starts, actually, if the parent, especially mother, of course, both the father and mother, if they are peaceful, when the child is in the womb, it has a tremendous impact on the child's development, psychological development, and of course physical development, because physical and psychology, is inseparable, till we die. So it's very, very important, So we have few examples within our community here, that some of the mother who went for this retreat, 10 days retreat, meditation retreat, while the child is in the womb, right? So then we found the child to be more calm, more peaceful, more sort of mature. That's what we have observed in some of the parents, right? So it starts from the womb, right? So of course, happy to see very lot of young people. So last Sunday I was not here. I was in Bangalore for a 7 days retreat. I conducted a retreat for people like you. So it was nice there. 7 days. So you have to, in the retreat, you are supposed to be silent all the time, and you are not supposed to talk. You are not supposed to use phone, and complete meditation. That's the retreat. As you know, retreat means retreating, stepping back. In your modern term, detoxing. Okay, so you need to sometimes detox, mentally. Of course, you must be doing physical detoxing, but what about mental detoxing, right? So mental detoxing is also equally important, in fact, more important, There was a debate between Buddha and another ascetic about which is more powerful, mental action or physical action, Then the debate went on, and somehow Buddha proved that mental action is more powerful, right? So I think the analogy Buddha gave was, suppose somebody is a great warrior, and he goes to some other country and kills a lot of people in the process of the war. He may kill, say, some millions, or maybe some few, many thousands. But somebody, a rishi, so is a rishi, meditator, right? He gains a psychic power or supernormal power. So through that, he can, in just 1 minute, or not even 1 minute, in one fraction, 1 second, he can destroy the same amount of people, or even more, right? So that was the analogy given, but in our own life, we can see, that when we have mind going through certain happiness or misery, it has immediate influence on our body, right? You can see how our heart start throbbing, and start certain feeling coming in our body. These days, people talk about chemical, right? Some certain chemicals are released in the brain, and that chemical sort of impacts our neurosystem, neurological system. So it is proven, it is very much sort of proven that mind has a huge impact on the body, right? So even the physical ailment, we can see that it is hugely influenced by the mind, right? Mind-borne diseases. Today we hear about psychosomatic diseases, which is born of mind. So therefore, this mind has a huge impact. So therefore, in the retreat, we do that mental detoxing, mind detoxing. It's quite popular, and especially in India or all the world. Vipassana is quite a popular thing where people go for 10 days, where I conducted, it was just proper 4 days and just half day before and like some half day next day. So like a 5 days, you can say. But it was good, So one of the thing I kind of found in that retreat is that if you sit straight, very much straight during meditation, not now, don't worry. So during meditation, if you sit little straight, that itself, helps you to remain in the moment, remain in the present moment, right? Because you have this task in hand, to keep yourself up, keep yourself straight. But if you're like this, wherein you're in comfortable position, in the comfortable in the sense of like physically you are a little bit unalert, then it's much easier for your mind to just move around, right? So that's something I kind of found. So if you find yourself too much agitated or restless, you can keep this backbone, especially, as much straight during meditation, of course, or straight. That helps you. Secondly, while you're breathing in and out, you can see the beginning and end of breath. Like, from the time it starts, throughout the process of the breath, from the time it starts, all the way till it ends, whether it is in breath or out breath, you have to look at the whole flow of the breath. You have to follow throughout the process of the breath. If you do that, then that also helps you to be more with the breath. Your concentration is more, That's something I kind of a trick I found, during the meditation, because apart from teaching, of course, I also did meditation there. So that's something I found. Okay, tips and trick for you for your meditation. And now, of course, is the time for sharing few words of the Buddha with all of you, so that it helps you to understand your mind. We always talk about the mind. So in my last talk, I spoke about, I guess, how I didn't speak. I spoke in the meditation, which is chittena niyati loko. The mind, the world is laid by the mind. Usually we talk about, oh, God has God is leading the country, leading our mind, our life, right? But here Buddha says, mind is leading the world. The mind is leading our life, right? So a lot of emphasis on the mind, right? In Buddha's teaching. So let us listen a few words. So this particular teaching today is called Heirs in Dhamma, Dhammadāyāda. Dhammadāyāda. So Dayat is your inheritance, your like which the thing that you get from your parent, all the properties, all the inheritance that you get from your parent, So Buddha says, because Buddha says, because be my heirs in Dhamma, not my heirs in material thing. Out of pity for you, compassion for you, I have taught. How shall my disciple be my heirs in Dhamma, not my heirs in material things? If you are my heirs in material thing, not my heirs in Dhamma, it will be a reproach to you. The master disciple live as his heirs in material thing, not as his heirs in Dhamma. And it will be a reproach to me that the master disciple live as his heirs in material thing, not as his heirs in Dhamma. So, of course, if you look at in our own day-to-day life, in our own life, we generally inherit the properties of our parent, right? So Buddha is saying that we shouldn't just inherited the property of our parent, but the culture, the values that our parent give us, right? That our parent share with us, inculcate in us. Because the property, of course, is good, is okay, but if you don't have certain value, certain ethics or certain standard of living, certain philosophy, something to rely on, right? Of course, material thing is very important. We have to rely on material thing, but then we need, today, as I was telling, mind, how the mind will rely on, where the mind will rely on, where the mind will stay on. So it is all the thing, something that your parent must have put in you, something that your parent must have inculcated in you. That's something we need to give a priority, we shouldn't just be like, oh, get my parent property, get it. So that will be wrong, the values is something very, very important, because that will go a long way, that will go a long way in our future. Of course, we do financial planning in our today's time. We do financial planning. It's very important or very good. We do family planning. Very good, very nice, very important. But then what about our, say, our cultural or plan, value plan, because tomorrow you have everything. Let's say you have all the financial thing in place, you have a family, okay, that's fine. But then will you be still happy? Will you be totally happy or not? Or if if you come across certain problems, certain issues, how do you deal with that? How do you approach to that? That is something you need to get from your parent. So it's important that you communicate with your parent, for not just parent or any other person in your life, some mentor. In today's style, we call it mentor. No? You use, oh, he's my mentor, like that. So you need to give a lot of importance on that, because that will come in handy, that will guide us to take us forward, So that's something Buddha is spoke, and then Buddha is saying, if you don't do, you will reproach later, you will regret later, when you are in some kind of a problem, you see. So therefore, you need to have that, otherwise you will be regretting, So that's why you need to have some philosophy, some values, something in your life that will guide you as you move in your life, as you move forward in your life. Saying that, Buddha left, and then Venerable Sariputta, who is the chief disciple on the right side. Right side is Sariputta Bhante, left side is Moggallana Bhante. They were the two chief disciples of the Buddha, Sariputta Bhante was next to Buddha in wisdom, in preaching Dharma wisdom. And Moggallana Bhante, left side, he was next to Buddha in supernormal abilities, like power, supernormal power that next to Buddha. Of course, they use power just to make people understand Dhamma, not just sort of like a, in a wrong way. That's Buddha very much spoke, that it should be used to bring home Dhamma in people, Then then Sariputta Bhante says that here, friends, a disciple of a master who lives secluded do not train in seclusion. They do not abandon what the master tells them to abandon. They are busy and careless. Forward in erring, giving up seclusion. In this, elder bhikkhus are to be blamed for three reasons. A disciple of a master who lives secluded do not train in seclusion. They are to be blamed for this first reason. They do not abandon what the master tells them to abandon. They are blamed for this second reason. They are busy and careless, forward in erring, giving up seclusion. They are to be blamed for this third reason. Okay. So what Bhante is saying, that he's speaking about seclusion. Okay, seclusion is what the Bhante is saying. So now, what is seclusion? Viveka. We say in Pāli Viveka. There are three Vivekas, three kinds of seclusion, which is Kaya Viveka, Chitta Viveka, and Upadhi Viveka, So physically you are secluded, mentally you are secluded, and you are secluded in terms of your emotions or your deeper state of mind, right? So when we say mind, it is just a conscious mind, but Upadhi, you can call it the subconscious mind, you can call it. So Viveka is quite an important spiritual practice that Buddha emphasized a lot, So today we talk about, today you all talk about, say, me time, you want to have a me time, So this me time is nothing but a seclusion, So in seclusion, you get a perspective, right? You get some clarity, you get to see yourself, you get to see, you get a different perspective about your life, the situation that you are going through, the experiences that you are going through, the feeling that you are going through. When you just sit, meditate, I'm sure today when you are meditating, you might have gone through a lot of, different experiences, right? At least you might have recollected some of your experiences and the way you feel, and I hope you got some idea. one of the things I found is when you are meditating, all the ideas come, right? Oh, I should have done like this. No, I should have done like that, right? I hope you also got that, So I think that's also okay, right? At least you are getting some idea, some new ideas, right? So that's something you get, right? So it's very important that, despite whatever busy you are, you have to somehow manage some time daily. Like daily, you have to have some time, say at least half an hour in the morning, half an hour in the evening, in the form of meditation, like you are just alone, right? You just have to be alone, and then you meditate, right? So uh, of course it's not necessary for you to be without thoughtless. Thoughtless state is not possible with just half an hour, 1 hour meditation, right? So don't expect thoughtless state in the beginning itself, because thoughtless state is a very deep meditation where some people, when they meditate, like say 4, 5, 6 hours every day for few months, then it is possible for them to come to a thoughtless state. Otherwise, it is not possible for you to thoughtless state, and it is not necessary also. It's not like, it's not like thoughts are, bad for meditation. Don't think like that. You see, so it's just that you have to see your thought, understand the thought, and try to do something with the thought. Like if you are getting a thought of anger, so today Bhante taught metta, that loving kindness. So with whomsoever you are having anger, you just bring that person mind and see that person smiling. Can you do that? If you are very angry with somebody and you just see the smiling face of that person in your mind, then your anger will just momentarily just drop down, right? It will just literally drop down. And then you can, at least get some more idea. In the sense, you can further go by bringing in some good quality of that person. You will be angry with whom? The person who is very close to you, right? If some strangers say something to you, you will just hear in okay, bye bye, a little bit shouting, gone, you forget. But if it is very close to you, somebody you love, oh, I'm loving so much, but he said this to me, right? How can he say? I can understand if some other person says, but why this person is telling me, right? So this is something that pricks you, right? So therefore, surely if you are angry, the person must be beloved person. And if that person is a beloved person, surely that person might have done something, lot of good thing to you, right? In whatever way, or at least if not done something very, very significant, but at least the presence of that person might have given you some sort of relief, some sort of happiness, So, remember that too, So that way your anger will drop down. So it's good, right? So thought comes with certain subconscious element, right? Thought comes with certain subconscious element. We call it Dhamma, in the form of likes and dislikes. If you like somebody, it will come in your mind. If you dislike somebody, it will come in your mind in the form of thought, in the form of a particular memory or episode, it will come in your mind. But if it is very strong, you have to actually deal with it, It's good that it comes when you are alone. Because when you're alone, you have a time to just deal with it. And you have a time to just experience it, right? So that's why seclusion is something important. And you don't unnecessarily, be disconnected from people, at least for half an hour, I'm sure you can manage, within your Instagram, you can give some half an hour for your meditation, Okay, 2 hour Instagram, 1.5 hour Instagram now, half an hour for meditation, right? Like that, you can give some priority, right? So it's very important, that way to get some perspective about your life, right? So seclusion is very important. And what happens is, as Buddha said, in seclusion, what you do is that you are, as Buddha said, you have to abandon what should be abandoned. In seclusion, you have to abandon what should be abandoned. I already mentioned just now, if anger is there, abandon the anger. If some other negatives are there, abandon the anger. Because it is the mind that keeps all those negativity inside of it, So you have to go to the mind, right? You shouldn't go to other person, In one place, Buddha said that whenever you are having some problem with somebody and you want to talk, right? You want to talk it out, right? You want to talk to somebody. And Buddha said, surely you can talk, at the right time. At the right time, you can talk. At the right place, you can talk. But before you talk, check in yourself, check in your mind. Are you free from anger and greed or ignorance or not? Check it out. Before talk it out, check it out, in your mind, right? So today, young generation, they say, right, let us talk it out, But before you talk it out, check it out. Unless you check it out, you can't talk it out. You can talk it out, but that talk it out will be with all kinds of miserable, because once something comes out of your mouth, you can't take it back so easily. You might do all sort of things, but it will take a long queue, right? A long circle. You have to kind of damage happens. Very powerful. Speech is very, very powerful, right? Once it comes out, it can damage a long relationship, a long friendship. It can damage. It's a very powerful speech. That is one of the reasons why we don't allow people to talk in retreat, right? We don't allow people to talk in the retreat, because at least in the retreat, please don't talk. Other time you can talk and talk and talk, but at least in retreat, please don't talk. So that's the thing. We train people to not to talk. In the sense, see, and next thing, you are busy and careless. So you are like careless, right? In the sense, you are busy, which means you are so busy, right? Today we talk about, I didn't see you a long time. Oh, I was busy, You just say, I was busy. Why you are so busy? Why you want to make your life so busy, right? You can drop some of the thing down. If you make your life less busy, nothing will happen. Nothing will happen. We take so much unnecessary busy sometimes, right? Some of the things which are not necessary, we add up, and I say we don't have time. We don't have time. When you're busy, then it is very difficult for you to get a good perspective about your action, about your life, about your mind. It's very difficult. That's why Buddha speaks about the seclusion, and you will be careless because you are busy. You have to do so many things, one after another, one after another, one after another. So you will not do anything properly. Everything little, and you will not do everything properly. So somebody says, we are human being. We are not human doing. We are human being. Just be, just be there. Don't be always doing. Why we have to always do so many things, right? Sometimes just sit together, even not without talking, just sit together and just be there, have feel the presence of each other. No need to so much talk, right? Because when we are talking, we will be always somewhere in the past or future. Oh, this happened, that happened. Oh, this may happen, that may happen. We are not enjoying the actual moment, right? So talk, of course, but talk less and try to reduce, because your energy goes, lot of memory comes, lot of unnecessary. So you may be careless. Third one, forward in erring. So you are like, you are sort of anger, you are sort of irritating, right? So what happens, you see, if you are, if you don't abandon in the mind through meditation all the thing, then you will be busy, you will be talking a lot of things, careless you are doing, and then you will become angry later. Once you become angry, then of course the whole issue starts flowing, whole issues happening one after another. It will keep on moving, right? So then Buddha says, if you do like that, it will go wrong, So Buddha says, now how do we train ourselves so that we are not we are not not abandoning, we are not careless about abandoning some negativity, we are not too over busy, we are not anger. So Buddha said, practice seclusion and then practice the Eightfold Path, that is right understanding, right thought, right speech, right action, right livelihood, right effort, right mindfulness, and right concentration in the Eightfold Path. In short, we can say being careful about our mind, speech, and action. So first of all is right view. Of course, some of you may be aware of right Eightfold Path, but I'll just go a little. So right view means you need to have a clarity about your vision, about view, about your life, your action, your life, your action, and your outlook. You should have some sort of a clarity. You try to have clarity, which is about what is good, what is not good, what is healthy, what is not healthy. There is a clarity. There has to be clarity, right? So Buddha said, what is good means what is not good. Greed, anger, and ignorance is not good. Non-greed, non-anger, wisdom is good. So like that, you need to have some idea about that. You see, other thing we can manage, right? You can be a great in your profession. You can be great in some of the skills, But what Buddha is saying is not about that, and that you are maybe expert, But what Buddha is saying here is your mind, what is behind that skill, what is behind that personality that you have, what is behind, which is the mind. Buddha is talking about that, Then right thought. So once you have a right understanding, then you will have right thought, which is nekkhamma sankalpo, that is giving up, being giving up. It is called renunciation. Renunciation is nothing but sacrificing, which is like, in simple word, I can say, like now in a family, there are few people. Everybody will have different opinion, different view about one situation. So now, whose will be taken as the final? That's a very big challenge, right? So there you have to abandon. Sometimes you have to sacrifice your own opinion in between. Right? It's important for you to sometime listen to, just give some other opportunity. Let their view be taken as priority. Like that, each other we have to do, right? Nekkhamma. Then avyapada, that is non ill will, non-anger, and non-harmlessness. Thought of harmlessness, thought of non-anger, thought of giving up. So giving up. So that is right thought. Then right speech, your speech, which is not telling lie, not backbiting, not using harsh speech, not gossiping. This short. Then right action, not killing, not stealing, not sexual misconduct. And then right livelihood, which is whatever you are earning, it should be of ethical, it should be of non-harming to people in general, right? Then right effort is to make an effort to abandon negative mind, and first not allow negative to come in. If it has come, give up, develop positivity, and once it is developed, protect it. That's the right effort. Then right mindfulness is of course, mostly it is meditation, but it can be, we have something called applied mindfulness, which is being mindful all the time as well. But it's not possible, right? You may say, okay, I'll be careful, mindful all the time, but how that mindfulness will come, right? You might tell, okay, I should be very mindful, careful all the time, but it won't come unless you actually sit and meditate, right? It's an actual sitting meditation that you did, because there you develop this faculty of mindfulness. So you are being mindful of your body, and then you are mindful of your feeling, then you are mindful of your mind, or your consciousness, your thought, basically, and then you're being mindful of your subconscious or deeper state of mind in the form of likes and dislikes. And also to sort of being mindful about, say, some very higher spiritual quality, like say confidence, like wisdom, joy, clarity, all those things. Okay, and then finally, right concentration, which is of course a deeper state of peace, that happens through meditation. Because of course, if you meditate more, you get a deeper state of joy. You feel your whole body very light, and you can sit in that for hours together, and you will have a lot of experiences, very joyful experiences, bigger, very huge happiness, that you get. But of course, for that one needs to meditate a lot, but that's okay. I mean, if you have time, but at least half an hour, morning, evening, will at least do to keep your life going in a more smooth way, in a more peaceful way. Okay, so this is the Eightfold Path Buddha asking us to develop. So if you do that, then what will happen? Your anger and revenge will go away. Your contempt and domineering will go away. Envy and avarice will go away. Deceit and fraud will go away. And unclarity and presumption will go away. Your conceit and pride will go away. So all this negativity that is lying inside of us, that has somehow started rising within the subconscious mind, will slowly fade away, will slowly go away. So in the same way, vanity and negligence, and this is the middle way for abandoning of all these things. So Buddha said, what Buddha's path, Eightfold Path, Buddha calls it the middle way, so no extreme. Buddha asks us to totally avoid any form of extremism in our practice. It should be middle way, the moderate way, the balanced way. So Buddha said, this Eightfold Path that I teach you is the middle way, is the balanced way, moderate way. There is no extreme here. So you're not asked to be doing some extreme thing which may harm you physically or mentally. Okay, so this is what the Buddha said. So just to summarize, is that we have to be not only the physical air, physical inheritance that we need to get from Buddha or your parent or your whomsoever. You need to also see the values, the culture, the mindset, the the way of thinking. All these things is very crucial for us to look in our parent, in whomsoever people who we look up to, and of course, if you look in Buddha's teaching, Buddha is saying, don't look for my physical kind of thing, but rather look in my Dhamma. In one place, Buddha said, yo Dhammang pasati, so mang pasati. Those who see the Dhamma sees me. If you want to look at me, if you want to see me, then see the Dhamma. That's what Buddha is saying. So of course, today, one of the most important to take away is the seclusion, the seclusion that has been emphasized, to abandon negativity, and to abandon negativity, to not be all busy and careless, and to not be irritating, not be irritable, you won't be, should be irritable. So one of the most, I think, to take away is the seclusion part of it, some sort of, and this can be applied to not just while you are sitting in meditation, but also with people. It's like if you have some people who are a little bit too difficult to deal, so just little bit distance is good. Not because you hate them, but little bit of distance will help to grow, to make the relationship better, or any kinds of difficulties that might be there in the relationship might slowly drop down if you little bit retreat yourself. So retreating yourself in the form of seclusion. And as I mentioned, there are three. Physically is one seclusion when you are not talking to anybody, but you are in the form of mind. It is there, the person is there in your mind, right? So sometimes it's also important how you when you are meditating, it comes in your mind. So the way you deal with it, I also already mentioned how to do. So you also mentally also just sort of disconnect with the person, because even if you are hating somebody, you are also connecting with that person. Of course, when you are being attached to somebody, you're also connecting with that person. In the both way, you kind of connect with the people, right? So therefore, it's also important to just release. Of course, one of the things I mentioned in my last talk was, if you are too attached to somebody, it's better sometime to meditate on death. That is, starting with that person, just meditate on death. That, oh, this person may die anytime, he may die, he is subject to death, he may die by this, die by that. Because why I just suddenly remember is that this is just few days ago, I got a couple, so they came here, and they said they look like maybe 45, 50, and they had a daughter, just one daughter, 24-year-old. She was okay, doing well. In fact, got engaged, was about to marry in a month, and just suddenly she had some kind of something in the head, and she just died, right? And the mother, she was just crying, sobbing, so it was very difficult to see. And they were like, both the, in fact, the father, was also in a very, very, in a very deep sadness, vulnerable kind of situation. So of course, if you have somebody who is very much close, somebody whom you love, your mother, father, or sister, or daughter, or husband, or wife, or friend, it's important sometimes to meditate on death, I feel personally, so that you are well prepared when something like that happens. And this is something that can happen, right? Not, it happened to them. Is that not going to happen to us? It may happen, right? It may happen. Whether it happen or not, another thing, but you should be prepared. You should be well prepared, because for a month, they are still, still they are in that zone, even after 1 month. So I feel last time I spoke about that, and I again want to tell is, do that. And that's not just for relationship, but also in general, it helps us to be more careful, to sort of value our life, that we have the precious human life. Buddha said, precious human life is very precious, very, very difficult to get human life. So that also helps in that way. But more specifically with regard to relationship, that to very close relationship, sometimes it is close, but you don't know whether it is attachment or love, right? So, if you meditate on death, your attachment will slowly go away and your love will increase, okay? Because in one place, Buddha said that if everybody thinks that one day we will die, then nobody will fight. Parechana vijananti, maya metta yamamase, yechadatta vijananti, tatu samanti medava. So if you think like that, we are all mortal, we are all going to die, then our whatever attachment or anger will drop down. So death is a very powerful meditation. I think it is important to to meditate on death, and more so in today's time, because you see, earlier time they have a big joint family, so many people are there. Even if somebody dies, you have so many other people with whom you are attached to. So your attachment to one individual is not too strong. But in today's time, you see the nuclear family, just a mother, father, one son, daughter, and that too, they are like somewhat, once married, they are staying separate, this separate, the only 2%, So that sharing of that emotional space is very less in today's time. So what is the solution? Can you bring joint family to again? No, it's not possible, right? So what you can do? Bring Dharma inside you, right? Have that inside you. Meditate on death. Very powerful. That will solve your emotion. Because at death, everything ends anyway. So why you have to die so that you forget everything? All this thing is done. Why you have to wait till death? In living, you die. While living, you die in the form of meditation. So you are like, in the sense, you are very close. Your mind is with this understanding of death. And what is death? It's anicca. Like Buddha spoke about impermanent. So you become more closer with impermanent. And Buddha said that if you are more close with this understanding of impermanent, you are wise. But we are not, right? We are not. We don't. Do you ever think about death? Before I tell, I don't think you, unless somebody dies. But when you go to somebody's death, you're not thinking you will die. You are thinking that person died. Oh, poor fellow, he died. He was a good person, or whatever. At least during that funeral time, you think good about them. Maybe after coming from funeral again, the whole story starts, right? So you see that when you just think while you're alive, so you're more close to that understanding of impermanent, then attachment will go down, and as I said, love will come up, because anytime they can die. So let me love more. Let me be more, good to the person. Let me be more. Let me spend time. Let me share. Let me care. Let me help. Like that. This kind of thought will come. In your mind. Okay, so I think this much is enough for you to reflect today, and maybe for the whole week. And by the time it is Friday, Saturday, you will forget. So come again. Come again next Sunday to listen, so that it again goes imprints in your mind, right? So until you become more strong. So I think this is your food for the thought for the next 1 week. I give you for reflection, and with this, I conclude, and I wish all of you good health, happiness, and peace. And I thank all of you for staying and listening and coming. It's good to share Dharma with all of you, and you're all listening. So I wish all of you good health, happiness, peace, and joy. May you all be free from harm and danger, sickness and worries. May all your wishes be fulfilled, and may you make more and more development in your life, and may you experience peace and stability in your life, and may you all progress on the path of Dhamma and spirituality, and achieve the ultimate happiness of Nibbana. So with this thought, let us now also pray for the peace of all the beings. So whatever good we have done today, by listening to Dhamma, meditating and chanting, this is the punya karma we have accumulated. Let us share this with all the beings for the peace of the whole world, all beings. May all beings be happy, healthy, peaceful, and joyful. Sukhe Yane Dokho Aham Nicham Hita Cha Me Sukhe Honto Majjata Chataverin Iman He Gaman Ketam He Sata Honto Sukhe Sada Tato Paranchara Jeso Chakavale Sujantano Sadhu Sadhu. Okay, we see you next Sunday. Till then, wish all of you peace, happiness. See you next Sunday.